Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So for those of you who are new, my name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today we're going to be diving into the AeroBlend Airbrush Foundation. So this video is going to be more informative for you. We're going to talk a little bit about the airbrush foundation, some of the tech specs. I'm going to give you some swatches of the set that I picked up as well as prices, and then I'm also going to tell you a little bit about my initial thoughts and experience with the makeup as we apply it today. So if you are interested in knowing a little bit about AeroBlend and my thoughts on it, of course, then please keep on watching. Alright, so AeroBlend Airbrush Makeup. Yes, AeroBlend is not a completely new company, but in the airbrush makeup sphere, it's fairly new. Not as much of a wide range of products, but definitely necessity based. So they do have several shades of blushes. They have a couple of highlighter shades, maybe one or two highlighter shades. And then, of course, they have a bronze and contour shade that you can work with alongside 20 shades of foundation that you can choose from to go ahead and find the shade that works best for you. So it's not the widest range that I've seen, but it's definitely fair enough. I saw enough range within the color selection for you to be able to go ahead and make a concise decision about what could work best for your skin tone, as well as if you were working on clients, it seemed like you would have enough options there to go ahead and fulfill your makeup needs. So that being said, let's go ahead and just get on the AeroBlend website here. So let's go ahead and talk about AeroBlend. AeroBlend's makeup is water-based. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of read a little bit of the description here. It says AeroBlend's airbrush makeup is water-based and hydrating, formulated with natural pigments. AeroBlend also has natural botanical extracts, feels virtually weightless on the skin. Foundation colors stay true and will not turn darker through the day. It's good for all skin types. The finish is natural and it has 8+ hours of wear for professional and consumer use. So if I am correct on here, their formula is supposed to be 100% natural, meaning that it is free of fragrances, parabens, silicones, and mineral oils. So that makes it 100% vegan and cruelty free. So yeah, this seems like a pretty good contender. It's checking all the boxes for a decent airbrush formulation. And it's pretty darn affordable. So they have the 0.2 ounce size, which is 6 mLs, going for about $5, I believe. Let's see, $5.75 for a little bottle. That's 6 mLs. And then if you want the larger bottles, which is the full size, which is 30 mLs, which is 1 fluid ounce, it goes for about $25 for a bottle. So it's relatively affordable for an airbrush makeup for sure. So if the performance and everything lines up, this can definitely be something that could be useful to a lot of people. Alright, so the set that I picked up was from the AeroBlend Minis collection. They offer 3 available sets. They offer 8 bottles in total on each set. The first set is light to medium shades, then you have tan to dark shades, and then you have blush and highlight shades. So the set that I picked up was actually the tan to dark shades, which contains 4 neutrals and I think 4 olive base tones. I think the N stands for neutral. I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like it would stand for neutral because that makes the most sense. So you get 4 neutral shades and 4 olive base shades. Now the set is sold out online, so it's not quite showing the price here, but I'm pretty sure I still have the receipt for my order, so I will go ahead and insert the price somewhere here so you know exactly how much I personally paid for it. It has been a while. I ordered this formula like, I don't even know, like a couple years ago, and I've used it. I used it quite a bit when I first was testing it out, but I was moving a lot. So at that point in time, I did not put out a review, nor did I do a stress test on camera because these things take time and stability and all of that. So I do have experience with the formula, using it before, and we will touch on all of that after we get through some of the other aspects. So now you have a little bit of information about AeroBlend's formula. You have a little bit of backstory on their stuff. You know how much it costs. Let's go ahead and get into the swatches of the set that I purchased. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check those swatches out. Alright, so now that you've seen the swatches, I just want to go ahead and dive into my experience with the formula. So my initial first impression of the formula was that it was a little bit thinner than the formula that I was used to using. It's definitely not the thinnest formula that I've come into contact with, but it did have me worried if it was going to go ahead and even my skin tone out enough because it was a little bit thinner than what I was used to. So I was worried about the pigmentation. Luckily, those worries were cast aside when I actually applied it on because it does a beautiful job of evening out the skin tone. What I did notice though was that it was lacking in coverage, especially for my darker pigmentation. It did cover the redness okay, but I would have liked to see more coverage as far as the redness goes. So I would say coverage, it was lacking a little bit at the start, and it still kind of does lack quite a bit for me personally. But as far as the overall application, it does do its job. It's pigmented enough to go ahead and even out the skin tone and give you a nice, beautiful finish. The feel of the foundation is very, very lightweight. So those claims that we read, that we talked about earlier, were definitely true. It does feel lightweight. It feels like you're not even wearing anything at all. It doesn't take much applying it to go ahead and get that even coverage, which is also very nice. As far as the look on the skin, it's not completely matte, but then at the same time, it's not dewy either. It has a really nice semi-matte to demi-matte kind of finish to it, which makes it look very nice and natural. Overall, I think I like the way that it looks. It is very reminiscent of the airbrush makeup that I started using when I first started airbrushing, which is from a different brand. Obviously, we're not going to go into that because we don't want to jump the gun and do comparisons just yet. But yeah, it definitely gives me the vibes of my initial airbrush experience, which is really nice. The only thing that it didn't do for me is actually stay on the skin. I did notice that the rub resistancy was not as good on the AeroBlend formulation as it is on my Ride or Die, which it could be a downfall, but then at the same time, it doesn't have to be, considering the price point of this makeup is a fraction of the cost compared to the other one that I'm using. So I feel like with the addition of other products, I can go ahead and get the rub resistancy to level up a little bit, which is not too bad. It doesn't bother me too much. Overall, I had a really good first experience with this foundation applying it. Like I said, it gave me that initial vibe when I first started airbrushing, which I have not experienced with any other brand of airbrush makeup outside of the one that I actually did start airbrushing with. So that's really good. We had a little sense of nostalgia there. So that being said, I will be doing a stress test in the next video, so you can go ahead and see it, just so this video doesn't end up being way too long. So I did save the footage on the stress test and all of my check-ins, so expect to see that in the next video. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the shades that I decided to use today to go ahead and get this overall look and finish, and then give you a close-up of the face after the initial application. That way you can go ahead and see everything. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with 035 for the concealing and foundation, and then I'm going to take 045 to go ahead and bronze and contour. Alright, so now that you saw a close-up of the initial application, I think that's about it for this video. My overall thoughts on this foundation, I'm going to save for the end after the stress test. That way I don't give too much away. But hopefully this video gave you enough information and gave you enough insight on the formula, as well as an idea on my initial experience with the formula and my experience now. So that being said, that about wraps it out for this video. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you did, please remember to give it a big thumbs up. As always, remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, or if you're choosing to subscribe today, don't forget to hit that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. That way you can get more videos from me popping up in your feed. Alright loves, thank you so much again for watching, and stay tuned for the stress test and then of course the final thoughts video. And I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!